Welcome to my presentation on brand equity, brand identity, and audit and managing a brand portfolio. Hello, my name is Paul. What is brand equity? What is brand identity, or sometimes also known as brand personality? What is a brand portfolio audit? And brand managing, what does that mean? These are some of the things we'll explore in tonight's presentation. In this next segment, we'll talk about the definition of brand equity. I had a short video, but I'm just not able to incorporate it into this presentation. But at the end of the presentation, there's a website. It's a 2-minute animated YouTube video on the definition of brand equity. But we'll go forward. Brand equity is a set of brand assets and liabilities linked to a brand name and symbol, which add to or subtract from the value provided by a product or service. That definition is given to us by David Acker. Brand equity is also a concept that gives brand name importance to a company as well as added value beyond the functional benefit it provides. Now, creating brand equity. What does that mean? Brand equity doesn't just happen. The first step is to develop positive brand awareness and an association in the minds of consumers to give the brand an identity with a product, class, or need. For example, Gatorade did this in a sports drink. Kleenex achieved it with facial tissue. Second, a marketer must establish a brand's meaning in the minds of consumers. For example, what a brand stands for. Nike accomplished this through 2 dimensions, a functional, performance-related dimension, and an abstract, imaginary-related dimension. The third step is to elicit the proper consumer responses to a brand's identity and meaning. How do consumers think and feel about a brand? Michelin is thought of as credible and a superior quality tire, but consumers acknowledge a secure and warm feeling of security. And the fourth step is to create a consumer brand connection, which becomes evident in loyalty, such as with the company Harley-Davidson, Apple, and eBay. Next, we'll talk about added value to a brand name. Brand equity here is represented by a premium a consumer will pay for one brand over another. In this frame, which brand would you buy and why? Would you buy brand X or would you buy brand Tylenol? Would you buy Nike or would you buy a Walmart pair of sneakers? So consumers are often willing to pay a higher price for a product with a brand name and its importance. Next, we get into valuing brand equity. This refers to the financial benefits and buying and selling brands by other companies at either a profit or in some cases a loss. In this example, I like the purchase by the company Triarch from Quaker Oats of Snapple for $300 million, and then 3 years later selling it for $900 million. Brand equity return, $600 million. So that tells you a little bit about valuing brand equity. Now in this frame, I described the connection in consumers' minds between a brand name and personality to what the consumer feels. Research shows that consumers often assign personality traits to products: traditional, romantic, rugged, sophisticated, rebellious. For example, Coca-Cola. They give you this feeling of an all-American and real thing. Pepsi-Cola, the young and exciting young generation. And then there's also mascot energizers that increase the brand identity role. Mascots such as Ronald McDonald, Mr. Peanut, and then you have all the cereal brand characters, creating an energizer effect which add to brand identity and their personality. A brand portfolio audit and managing. Every marketer really needs to know this. For the person who wants to work in brand product marketing, this will be critical. The word audit is very well used in the finance and accounting field, but in an advertising and marketing context, it can mean pulling the weeds out from a brand and planting the good seeds. There's also other situations that are very important in a brand portfolio audit and managing. The analysis of what is called SWOT, which is strengths and weaknesses, and its external opportunities and threats. That's a little bit different, but it still targets audit and managing. And then finally, managing the brand portfolio. Marketing can be very complex, and managing is no exception. Managing a brand portfolio requires analysis, decision-making, information on markets, on brand knowledge, information on competitors, consumer mindset and consumer behavior, and of course the company must have an excellent CEO. Now, just to leave you with this, there was a YouTube video I saw by Steve Jobs, and he really didn't talk about saying that he was managing his company. But if you listen to the video, which is about 9 minutes long, I don't have it, incorporated in this presentation, but there's a YouTube site on it there. He talks about when he was alive, and he gave a very good report on what he thought of his company and how it was being managed. So I highly recommend looking at that one. And that concludes this presentation. Thank you.